Let's see. Hello, everybody. Say hi as you join. Give us a wave. Give us a little emoji in the group. I'm just going to make sure I've got everything I need. Hi, Joel. Ooh, I've just knocked myself then. That's not good. Right. Hello, everybody. Hi, Sean. Hi, Nafia. Hi, Aisha. How's everybody doing? Hi, everybody. Welcome. How you doing? Have you got your drinks? I've got a massive tub of water. Right. Let's do this. Woody, take 2. We live, George. We live. We are live. So I have a massive disclaimer for this evening that I am filled to the brim with cold. Like here. This is where my cold is up to. And my nose has seemed to stop working. Don't worry, it's not COVID. I have done a COVID test and I'm doubly vaccinated, thankfully, so it's not COVID. But after a year of social distancing and mask wearing, I haven't had a cold in a year. So I'm just realising how crappy colds are. So I apologise. I will be sniffling. I will be wiping my nose. I will occasionally be sneezing. And I will be drinking lots of water because my voice is going. So I do apologise that this is going to be the least glamorous glamorous live ever. It's really lovely to see you. Hi, everybody. Hi, how was my day out in London? I had a lovely day. It was very nice. I went to do a reel for a fragrance brand, which I was really excited about doing an Instagram reel. Karen's probably going to be like, hold on, I want you to do reels for me. And I will do. I know how to do reels now, Karen. I know Karen's probably not watching. She said she's busy this evening. And then I went and met my friend and we went and took his dog for a walk, which was very nice. Nice to see you all. Hi, Ben. Hi, Hester. New glasses. Interesting story, Ben. These are my lovely Tom Ford glasses that I bought quite a while ago now, and I have lost for 6 months. I could not find them. I turned the whole house upside down. Turns out they were just in my leather jacket pocket in the wardrobe, and because I haven't worn that in so long, I'd forgotten about it. So these are not new glasses, but I haven't worn them for a while. Hi, Carl. My poorly egg. Yes, I'm really filled with cold. Thank you. Hester's congratulating me on my Jasmine Award nominations. Thank you very much. I hopefully maybe add another one to my... I do have 5, but I share the 5th one with my friend Nick. So he has that one because obviously, as you can see, I have quite a few. So it'd be nice maybe to add a new one. Yes. Thank you. Bring the sympathy, please. Lots of sympathy. I'm feeling very poorly. Love me. Give me sympathy. I need a hot toddy. Yes, I would, but my temperature is like ridiculous. So I'm trying to keep cool. Am I being looked after? Yes, I am. And by that, Nigel took me to Nando's. So thank you, Susie. Thank you, Sophie. Hi, everybody. Always in the forgotten pocket. I tell you what, I've turned the house upside down, Ben. And when I put that jacket on the other day to try it and be like, oh, I wonder if that jacket will go with this outfit, and put my hand on the pocket and realise the glasses were in the pocket, the rage, the absolute incandescence of rage. And I lose things all the time. Okay, so mailing the link seemed to help everybody. Good, that's good. Wanted everybody to find it. Thank you. Yes, that'll be in July, my blog anniversary. I'm really looking forward to that. I've got lots of exciting stuff planned for that, because that's July. 10 years of blogging. I was such a young whippersnapper when that happened. Oh, hello, James. Cheeky Nando's fixes all. I'll just wait for a few more people to join. Let's see how much stamina I have this evening. So I will be sort of smelling along with you. But it will be from memory mostly. How are you though? That's enough about me. How is everybody? How have your days been? How have your weeks been? It is National Fragrance Week this week. I don't know how you've all been celebrating by buying lots of perfume. That's normally how I celebrate. So this is the Woody Live 2. So this is to reveal the last 4 fragrances in our Woody box. So that's fragrances E to H. We're going to go through those relatively quickly. As always, there is no right or wrong. If you smell something in a fragrance, it's there. Whatever words you want to use to describe it are accurate. I hope you've all got your boxes, and I hope you're ready. How have you all found this part of the box, this half? Have you enjoyed it more than the first half? Or less than the first half? Or do you not have an opinion? I don't mind either way. I apologise if I have to blow my nose. I am really sorry. It's very embarrassing. I tell you what, I will just dip out of screen like this. Oh. Just to gently pat my nose. That's my lovely cat in the background, yeah. He just waves to say hello to everybody. So you've loved this half, that's good. Good. I like this half. I feel like this half is a little bit more unusual than the first. And we've had a lot of quite diverse reactions, I think, to some of these. Some of you love the fragrances here and some of you really don't like them. Okay, James doesn't have the fragrances. You're signed up for the next box, James, aren't you? So you're on 10 Toes waiting to find the feedback. Brilliant. Yes. Always love a fragrance shopping trip, James. Always. Susie loves lots in this box. Laura preferred the second half. Mia preferred the second half. Good, good. Have you got your boxes? Are you ready? Let's just jump into it, shall we? So we're going to do this for half an hour, and I'm hoping actually for once it will be half an hour today because I'm not feeling very well. So we will see how we go. But you know me, I'll be talking 6 hours later. As always, keep interacting in the group, keep interacting here in the comments as we go through. We previously revealed A to D. So A was Issey Miyake's Wood and Wood, which was a pretty standard masculine woody fragrance. A good example of what woody is to most people. And then we had B, which was Peau Santal by Miller Harris, a really good example of the soft, fresh sandalwood trend. Things like Le Labo Santal 33, it's kind of in that space. It was a really good example of that. So a very modern woody fragrance. Then we had Polo by Ralph Lauren, which was a very classic woody fragrance, but also showcased how the woody fragrance family encompasses not only wood notes, but notes such as vetiver and patchouli. And then we had D, which was Féminité du Bois by Serge Lutens, which was a feminine example of wood. Because remember, we were saying this box is really masculine, it's all for men, but actually there are fragrances created for women that are woody, and that was a fruity cedar wood. So, yes, that was kind of a really good essay in different types of wood fragrance, and then we're going to try and show a few more unusual things in this half of the box. As always, I will be giving out 5 boxes, so 5 of June's boxes, which is all new launches, to the best comments, the best questions. If you've already signed up for that box, then we will be able to gift that to somebody. We'll take a list of names as we go, but please do contact Escentual if I do give you a box. Okay, shall we just get going? Right, so Fragrance E. Who was a fan of Fragrance E? I know I'm a fan of Fragrance E. What I found really interesting about Fragrance E was that a lot of people found it very quiet, that they couldn't smell all of it, which I think is interesting. But we'll come on to that. Hester loved E. Hester, I've seen a lot of your comments about E, actually. I really enjoyed reading some of those because I think it was a real journey of your experience of E. Very cozy and comforting. Carl likes it. Debbie is definitely a fan. Kiwi loves it. I really like E. I think it's quite an interesting woody fragrance because it's got so many different facets. Okay, Colin says it's his favourite by far. That's an endorsement. George says, quiet if you smell close, but it projects like an MF. I'll let you all guess what MF means. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It kind of wears very kind of distantly from the skin, I think. Once you're in it, this is the thing I find interesting about fragrances. You can smell it on a strip and it'll smell one way. You can spray a bit on your hand and it smells another way. But when you wear it, like coat yourself in it, it really, really smells very different. It's different to wear something, I think. Sophie says she's been poorly, child, and you've had COVID vaccine. Oh, sorry to hear there's lots of poorliness around you, but you didn't dislike any of them. It's kind of peppery, smooth, and delicious. Maybe another sandalwood. You might be onto something there, Carl. Okay, so E is another sandalwood. That's a really good kind of jumping off point. Thank you for that, Carl. I will pay you later. This is another sandalwood. Remember we looked at B, which was Peau Santal by Miller Harris was a lovely, creamy, soft, smooth sandalwood. This is very different. This is kind of drier and warmer. It is still quite creamy, but it has a bit of a suntan lotion vibe. It's coconutty. And I think it's, again, an example of how sandalwood can be very skin-like. But this has lots of woody aroma chemicals in it, which is why some of you may be struggling to smell it in some aspects. So some of these molecules that are used are quite big. In like on a molecular level, the molecules are big, which means they can be tricky to smell. And they're often used for their effect rather than their odour. So when we think of a material like ISOE Super, which you'll hear a lot about because that's the eccentric molecules, molecule 01, although that's technically, I'm getting really technical now, a different isomer of ISOE Super. That's isogamma Super, but let's not split molecules. So that's used in fragrances because actually it has a really sort of blanketing effect, and it kind of sort of spaces different materials out. So it's used for its effect more than its odor profile. And this is definitely filled with lots of aroma chemicals. It's a bit more of a synthetic sandalwood. There's actually a synthetic sandalwood molecule called Javanol, which is a very fresh sandalwood material with a metallic edge. And I can't smell it at all. If you put it on a strip under my nose, I will not be able to smell it. I'm anosmic to it. It's too big a molecule for my nose. So I think that's why some of you may smell this more than others, because there's lots of synthetic sandalwood and woody materials going on. So this is another sandalwood, but it's not the same as B, it's different. So, Laura thought it was a big smell but didn't go anywhere in the long term. Interesting. Michelle loves sandalwood. Lots of coconut, smooth and comforting, says Susie. Ali really enjoys it. Opens like freshly cut wood and turns peppery, interestingly. Okay, lots of pepper. I've seen pepper a couple of times. Pepper and coconut. Okay. Smells lovely on strip but awful on skin. That's why we have to try it on skin to work out. Is this the Dutch live? I don't know. I don't speak Dutch. Unless, as you mean, is this Eurovision? Because that was in Holland. This is not it. Okay. You can smell the metallic edge. Interesting. Okay, so you can smell that. Christabel prefers the sandalwood. It's a lot kind of lighter in area, I think. Okay. So, we had a few comments on this. George said it reminded him of freshly cut sandalwood. Carol said it was like opening an old wooden drawer or chest. And Hester said it was like a comfort blanket, like curling up in a very big armchair in an old-fashioned book-lined study with a great big mug of very creamy hot chocolate, which was a beautiful description and made me really want to put the velvetizer on and have a hot chocolate. So yes, this is very creamy, milky. There's a definite suntan lotion vibe, but it's also very soft woody. Has that kind of super radiance you get from sort of woody chemicals like ISOE Super, which just make things so diffusive. But then the warmth of Cashmeran, it's skin-like. It's very softly sweet, I think, and it's quite powdery. It's clean, it's sun-kissed, etc. Mia says it smells a bit like hypnotic poison on skin. The vanilla is very warm. Yeah, it does have that kind of slight anisic edge, actually. That's very interesting. Also kind of that creamy milkiness that you would get in hypnotic poison. So hypnotic poison is a very lactonic fragrance, meaning it's got lactone materials in it that smell milky and creamy. And this definitely has that vibe as well. So that's a good spot. Aggie says starts grassy but quickly goes to coconut and sandalwood, soft and sharp. Christabel's now thinking of chai. This feels like chai. Now I just want a chai. Does anyone want to make me a chai? Can someone please get me a chai? I would love you. So creamy. It seems to project a lot. Interesting. Okay, so lots of interesting comments about this one. Let's reveal what it is. Bum, bum, bum. It is Sunny Side Up by Juliette Has a Gun. Some of you guessed this one. I think that just shows that it's quite a distinct fragrance. So this came out in 2017. It is an ode to sun-kissed skin on the beach. It is £76.50 for a 50ml eau de parfum. Some of you really, really love Juliette Has a Gun because we've had it in one of the other boxes. We had Citizen Queen in our Sheeper box. This is a woody fragrance created to smell like sun-kissed skin with creamy suntan lotion. And it's a beach scent, but it's a woody beach scent. And I really like the marketing for this. They got a load of really cool animations for this. And it was all about fried eggs. The idea, kind of this silly joke of, you know, it's so hot you could cook a fried egg on your stomach, that kind of thing. And if you look at the bottle from a bird's eye view, it's a little fried egg. I think that's really cute. So this one actually, unlike Citizen Queen, which we just have as a 100ml, this comes in a 50ml bottle as well. So you get a 50ml size and a 100ml size, but it's £76.50 for the 50ml. And I think it's just a really nice fragrance. Really diffusive, creamy, fresh, but also quite warm fragrance. Great for summer. When you think in summer, I have to wear citrus, I have to wear refreshing things. Actually, you can wear a woody fragrance. Gavin's saying, well, what George Michael smelled like in the Club Tropicana video. Brilliant. Brilliant. I love that. I love that. So yeah, there you go. Juliette has a gun. My bottle's a bit scuffed, but I think this is a really lovely fragrance. Oh, that's interesting. Ruth said that this didn't last, neither did the Citizen Queen. Interesting. Juliette Has a Gun is a good brand. I think what they do is they try and take fragrance not too seriously, but they take the actual juice quite seriously. And I think it's like a stepping stone to niche. That's what I always say. It's like if you want an accessible niche brand that gives you something that maybe that you've not smelled before, if you haven't got too much experience with sort of niche and unusual fragrances, Juliette Has a Gun is a good kind of bridge point from mainstream to niche, because it's kind of elevated, it's kind of slightly different, it kind of challenges your preconceptions of what fragrance can be, but it's not too weird. So I always kind of recommend them for someone who's kind of trying to look for something that's a little bit wearable but a little bit different. Maddie, I know you love Citizen Queen. It's a great fragrance. That's from our Sheeper box. So there you go. Scuffed equals the signs of a well-loved fragrance. Absolutely, I agree. Carl's saying it reminds me of Comme des Garçons Blue Santal. I can see that. I can totally see that. I like that blue range from Comme des Garçons. I just love Comme des Garçons. So there we go. So if fragrance E was a beach, because we have to agree it is a beach, where would that beach be? Is it Bognor Regis? Or is it the Maldives? So there you go. George says this is a new one. Have you not tried this one before, George? Obviously, other than in the box. So this came out in 2017. I really loved this one as it came out. I wore it a lot. I just think it's a really lovely, novel, woody fragrance. Ellie saying, I sat this off when I was trying out a discovery set. Must have overdosed on the 7 different fragrances as I love it now. Interesting. So because it's such a subtle fragrance, I think, until you wear it, it's very easy to dismiss it on a strip, I think. Whitstable. Okay, Patent Purple, Whitstable, you get a box for that, because that's funny. I like that. So if you can message Escentual, you'll get a free box for next month. It's lots of Seychelles. It would be the Baywatch Beach. Yes, it would be. We just need a Hasselhoff now. Here we go. South Shields. Carl. Does South Shields even have a beach? Is it by the sea? Excuse me. Tissue. Venice Beach. Ooh, St. Bart's. If I was going to go to St. Bart's. I'm weirdly not a beach person. I don't know about you, but there's nothing worse to me than the idea of sitting on a beach for longer than 5 minutes. Secret Beach in Norfolk. Everyone's wearing a bikini with an anorak overlay. Rebecca, I think maybe you're telling us that you know of such a specific beach. Have a box for that. I enjoyed that. Rebecca, if you could message Escentual, go for that. To get a box. Defa Beach on the Caribbean. Jamaica with a pina colada. Setting our sights quite high there. Jade. Aha, okay, brilliant. So that was Fragrance E. Fragrance E is Sunny Side Up by Juliette Has a Gun. Also, great name. What are you wearing? Sunny Side Up. It's a fun name, isn't it? Goa. Yes, that's why we're called sound dancers, not Georgies. Very funny. Okay. So, Fragrance F. Now, Fragrance F was much more divisive, I think. Let's have a just show of thumbs up, thumbs down for Fragrance F. If I can just see that in the chat. If you love Fragrance F, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Because I think this one definitely had some really distinct, divisive responses. Excuse me. Okay, so South Shields has a beautiful beach. This is something I'm just learning. Thank you so much. Hi, Amanda. Thanks for joining. You missed Fragrance E, Amanda, which was Sunny Side Up by Juliette Has a Gun. A lovely sort of creamy, coconutty, very aroma chemical woody wood fragrance. So I'm getting all the thumbs up now. So lots of thumbs up so far. No thumbs down for F. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this wasn't so divisive. Aha. Hester says no. It's a no from Hester. A yay from Susie. A yay from Joyce. A yay from Baton Purple. A yay from Maria. A yay from Gavin. Okay. More yays than nays. It opens a bit rosy. I do agree. Nothing wrong with a rosy opening. That's what I always say. Okay. Okay, so definitely mixed. I'm getting mixed. So I picked F because it's an oud, and you can't do a woody box without an oud. You'd literally get arrested for that. So yes, we have an oud. We have an oud in the box. An oud is technically part of the woody family, but there are so many different styles of oud that I think it's arguable at this point that oud is its own fragrance family, but the fragrance industry hasn't recognised that. That's just my humble little opinion. So for now, let's just call it woody. So what is oud? So you might have heard of people talking about oud. Oud or eggwood is a dark wood that's formed in the heartwood of the Achilleria tree when it becomes infected with a very specific type of mould. Because of this, it's a very rare material because you're not just sourcing it from trees, but you're sourcing it from infected trees. And you have to know which trees are infected, which you can't always tell from the outside without cutting into the tree, unless you are somebody who spent your lifetime working on those trees. So it's a very rare material. It's very expensive. It smells intensely animalic. I don't know if anyone here has actually smelt real oud. Give me a comment if you have smelled oud. To me, it's very animalic. It smells like barnyards. It's very medicinal. It's got sort of camphoraceous medicinal tones to it, but also has a blue cheese vibe to it. And the best way you can smell sort of really good, sort of true oud fragrances, if you go to Frederick Mal and you try The Night, which is really, really cheesy barnyardy oud, and it costs about £900, and that's not even a joke. That's how much it costs. I think even the body cream's like £600. It's a lot of money. It's worn extensively in the Middle East because it has such impressive longevity. It works so well in the heat. Because, you know, when you're living in Dubai and you're wearing fragrance, you know, anything you're going to wear in that heat is just going to burn off very, very quickly. So they wear a lot of oud oils because they stay on the skin, and it's often paired with rose. It's just one of those kind of holy pairings. Oud and rose go together like, I don't know, bacon and egg. I'm just thinking about Sunny Side Up now. So oud is this wonderful thing that's kind of been brought into Western perfumery, and it kind of started with Tom Ford when he created the fragrance M7 for YSL. I mean, in the early noughties, I think that was. They say that was the first fragrance with oud in it in the Western market. That may not necessarily be true, because it may not actually have any real oud in it, or it may not have been the first, but it kind of was the first notable one. And obviously Tom Ford's had kind of a couple of ouds, and that's kind of really become a big thing. But because of the rarity and cost of oud, most of the oud in perfumery in the West is probably not real oud. Most of the time, perfumers will create an oud accord using other materials. So they'll use like leathery materials like cypriol and other wood materials. And this is a way to make it also more palatable to Western consumers, is because real oud is quite smelly. So this fragrance is a really good example of a rose and oud fragrance with a wonderful sense of transparency. That's why I picked it, because I didn't want to just give you a typical oud. I think this has a really interesting lightness to it. I don't know if anyone agrees with me there. So this is kind of a more transparent, floaty oud. Yeah, let's go with that. Quick nose break, I apologise. Ooh, that was a lovely noise, wasn't it? Gavin says it's very nice on skin. Susie also said barnyardy and blue cheese. See, Susie, we're so in sync. Jasmine is like that. Gardenia is quite like that for me. It's very, the actual gardenia flower is very blue cheesy and mushroomy. Osmanthus also can be the same, which is also a flower, has a bit of a fleshy blue cheesy vibe. Anita likes oud in Montal fragrances. Alison says deadwood on strip but lightens up on skin. Sometimes it just needs the warmth of skin, I think, to kind of give it some real kind of space. Okay, so in the comments, Joel called this sweet, saying he detected pine and spices. Claire said she found the dryness of it quite suffocating. And Charlotte said it reminded her of sipping coffee in a log cabin in a dark forest next to a burning smoky fire. She called it rich, earthy, and maybe a bit chocolatey. And I think the chocolatey thing you're picking up on there, Charlotte, is the patchouli, because patchouli can be a bit chocolatey, especially when it's with rose. George says there's a steam-like quality to it. Interesting. Very interesting comments on this one. Which I like about this is even if you're not a big fan of it, people have a real kind of strong opinion of what it smells like. Nice on the spill, but unpleasant on skin. A lot of you picked up on the medicinal aspect of this, which I think was one of the things that turned a few people off, was that it does have that kind of medicinal sort of camphor facet. So for me, this is delicate rose petals. It's kind of velvety, burgundy, dark red roses. There is something medicinal, something camphorous, but it has a very soft trail. It's quite airy. And there's a thread kind of woven through this of malted black tea, which gives it something different from all other oud fragrances and all other kind of rose oud fragrances. So, does anybody have any guesses as to what this might be? Excuse me, tissue time. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely nostalgia for Katie. Says reminds her of her uncle's smoking pipe for some reason. Velvety, smoky scent. That's a lovely memory. Thank you for sharing. Have a box. That's it, Katie. If you can just message Escentual, and they will give you a box. So George says he thinks it might be from BVLGARI. Anybody else? Any guesses? Other than George? No guesses. No guesses. Toy Boy. Interesting. Toy Boy is a rose. It's kind of a spicy rose too. So I don't think you're too off the mark with that one. Okay, I will just put you out of your misery. So this one is Parfumee Eau Noir by BVLGARI. So George was right. Well done, George. Congrats for being right. This came out in 2015. It is £63.75 for 75ml Eau de Cologne Intense. So this is part of BVLGARI's tea collection. If you were with us for the green box, you'll know that we did the original, which was Eau Parfumee Eau Thé Vert in the green box, which was the original. This is which was kind of green tea. It was all about green tea. This is black tea. So they've done all different types of tea. They had a blue tea, a white tea, and a red tea. I think that's all of them. It is not Eau de Barnyard, although that would be an interesting fragrance. I would like to smell it. This one celebrates black tea. It's that rich, tannic beauty of black tea, and it uses rose and oud as a complement. I think it's just such a lovely, delicate rose oud. That's what I enjoy about it. It's this weightlessness, this transparency. And I think that thread of multi-black tea that's woven through is such a novel approach to oud. I think it's really fascinating. So Chelsea's Essentials in the comments, so they'll share the name and write it down for you. But it's Eau Thé Noir, so A-U-T-H-E Noir, N-O-I-W-R, which is N-O-I-R. There's no W in it. Sorry, I'm just losing the plot at this point. I don't know if you can see it on the bottle. There we go. It's a bit blurry. So we'll write the name down so you can all see. But it's black tea. So thé, T-H-E, is noir, thé is tea, and noir, so black tea. Excuse me. Man flu is terrible. It's just the worst. Thank you, Patent Purple, for typing that out for me. Thank you. I don't think I can... Well, I suppose I could type in the comments, but I would knock everything over that's in front of me on the desk. So, if fragrance F was a flower, what kind of flower would it be? And I like asking this question because it's not, other than the rose, it's not a distinctly floral fragrance. So I'm interested in see what kind of flower it would be in your minds. Louise, I'm hoping you get this cold. More like Zoflora. I do love Zoflora. I came downstairs the other day and Nigel had been cleaning with Zaflora and it smelled very nice. Ooh, Lisa might need to give this to the other half. It's very sexy. Deadly Nightshade. Ooh, Mia, I like that. Deadly Nightshade. A box for Mia, I think. You know the drill, Mia. I think I've given out 4 boxes now. If Escentual can tell me. I just don't think I can blow my nose on camera. I think it's so rude. Black Peony, Purple Iris, Black Calla Lily. Lovely. Black Poppy. Everyone's going dark. We're going very noir with this. When you move and I can see your perfume collection. Joe Malone, Atelier, Cologne, and Miller Harris. That shelf, super jealous. That's a good shelf, actually. Yeah, that's above the Jasmine Awards. And then the Chanel shelf. This is all Chanel, Elie Saab, Prada. And then you've got Frederic Malle underneath. I should do a collection tour at some point, shouldn't I? That would be fun. Excuse me. I'm not blowing, I'm just dabbing. Something poisonous deep in the Amazon. Yes, I like that. Glass petal. Ooh, lovely. Right, we're going to move on because I think I've only got 3 tissues left. So let's move on to G. Did we love G? Did we hate G? What do we think? I think G is quite sexy, personally. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I think it's quite sexy. Thank you, Lisa. I would welcome a hug, but socially distant. I will just hug you from here. Yes, definitely share your... That's a really good idea, Mia. Share your collection photos in the group. I'd love to see what you've all got in your collection. Amanda says G is a favourite here. Favourite from the box. It's so interesting. Hints of fruitcake, a herbaceous note, a bit of rose, all wrapped in an oaky casket. Interesting. Joel liked it a lot. G was Patent Purple's favourite. Blow your nose for a bit. I will do, but the problem is I really need to blow it. And I'm thinking if I do it, I'd have to go out of the room. The amount I need to do it. I can't do it, and I don't know how to mute myself. So but let's just keep going. It's all right. Louise says it's all right, a bit sweaty. Definitely sweaty. I'm there for sweaty. So I picked G because it's an incredibly sexy, spicy wood. I think it's really masculine, and it portrays a very particular type of sweaty wood fragrance, Louise, so you are right. The wood note here is actually cedar wood. Like sandalwood, the smell of cedar wood really varies and dependent on the locality. So you can get sort of Texas cedarwood, you can get Atlas cedarwood, you can get cedarwood heart, lots of different cedarwood materials. It can be pure pencil shavings, or it can be more spicy, human, and intimate. Obviously, this is more spicy, human, and intimate, this one. I think this feels a little bit naughty. It amplifies the intimacy with spices and leather. So you've got the kind of sweatiness of the spice and the kind of richness of the leather. It's a flanker to a very famous fragrance, actually. Don't know if any of you could guess, but it is a flanker to a very famous fragrance. So Michelle said this was like a fire put out with TCP. She said the opening was a nope, but the dry down was pleasant. So she liked it more as it dried down. Sarah called it sweaty, and Charlotte called it raindrops on petals in spring, botanical and floral. So quite light and fresh, which was interesting. Nose break. I'm just owning it. I'm owning the cold. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just owning it. Okay, Susie's grassy. That's interesting. George says elegant, autumnal. Phoebe says G is very interesting. Morgan says festive. I think that's probably because of the spice. Daniela says cumin. Absolutely. That's the first word I wrote down when I was sniffing this was cumin. Cinnamon. So this one it's cumin to me. It's that kind of sweaty, dare I say armpitty-ness of cumin. They're spices, they're hot, but they're fresh. And it's got that weird aquatic-ness of cardamom, which kind of smells quite fresh aquatic. Sweatiness, but clean sweat. Armpits, and I'm not mad at it for that. Smooth, powdery woods, and it's got rich, dark veins of black leather in wood. So the wood, like the little grain of the wood, is actually leather in my head. So this one is... I'm just doing a quick reveal with this one. This is Déclaration Parfum by Cartier. This came out in 2018. It's by the Cartier in-house perfumer, who is Mathilde Laurent. And it's £72 for a 50ml Parfum spray. This is actually a riff on Cartier's Déclaration, which came out in 1998. It was created by the perfumer Jean-Claude Ellena, very famous perfumer. He was the in-house perfumer at Hermès for a long time. And Déclaration was an essay in woods and spices, but showing how they could be clear, transparent, and fresh. And in 2018, for the 20th anniversary of that fragrance, Cartier's perfumer Mathilde Laurent reimagined the fragrance as a parfum, so a more intense fragrance. So this is Cartier. This version isn't as fresh. It's richer, sexier, dirtier, woodier, warmer. Really gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Really, really lovely. Oh, Max guessed this one. Not as cuminy as Kingdom. Yeah, Kingdom's massively cuminy. No subtlety. It's standing loud and proud. Absolutely, it's a bit of a foghorn. But I think there is an elegance to it. Double personality. Bold wood, but that citrusy undertone. I just want to make you a big hot toddy with the lemon and ginger and quite a lot of whiskey, says Hester. Yes, please. I'm not going to turn that down at this point. Yeah, the bottle's really impressive, isn't it? Okay, so my question to you is, if Fragrance G was the lead singer in a band, who would it be? Louise says she sprays perfume to get rid of the armpit smell and she's not respraying the smell back on. You do you. I use it to amplify. I don't have armpit smell. Man says gorgeous. Patton says, oh, I need to give this to my beloved as a just because present. Best kind of presents are just because presents, I think. Oh, I'm doing it on screen, sorry. Apologies. George says someone just took off the leather jacket and the person's fragrance still lingers on it. I like that. It's a nice description. It is the Parfum spray, yes. So it's the Parfum version. There's a couple of versions of Déclaration. There's the original. I think they've got like kind of lighter, darker ones. This one is the Parfum. Bon Jovi, Brian Ferry. For me, it's that very attractive Italian man that just won Eurovision in his band. Damn, that's an attractive man. And he would wear Déclaration Parfum, I think. Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, there is that kind of bat-eating vibe to it, I guess. Jared Leto, yeah. I can see Jared in this. Morton Harkett, interesting. Aha. Get that, I tried to make an aha joke. Lemmy Motorhead, Boy George, Rough and Ready. Nick Urata from Devochka. I don't know who that is, but I'm willing to be educated. Please educate me. Anthony Kiedis, Michael Hutchence. Dave Grohl. Some grungy people we've got going on there. Maybe Brian Molko. I'm just saying that because I'm a Placebo fan. A bass player using overdrive, Frank Sinatra. Ooh, very elegant, Mr. Sinatra. Interesting. So Morgan says she finds it very funny because it's quite masculine, but she loves it as a feminine fragrance. Yeah, I think you could easily wear this if you're a woman. I think it has a different vibe on a woman. Yes, Damiano, all the way from Eurovision. That's a very attractive man. Okay, I'm going to speed up and move on because my nose is falling off. To the last one, H. So I think H had quite a few fans. And it's an interesting one for me, H, because I wouldn't blame you for not thinking that H is that woody. It's more fresh herbal fougere, maybe even a bit leathery, but it actually has a strong woody component, which is cashmeran. We actually talked about cashmeran during our fruity box, but for those who didn't join us, here's a quick recap. Cashmeran is a woody aroma chemical. It's a polycyclic musk, to be exact, with an aroma that is somewhere between woods and musk, and it's often used in perfumes in relatively small amounts, to be honest with you, to amplify woody, aromatic, powder, musk and leather facets. But it can also be used in higher doses, resulting in quite novel effects. It's a staple that's used in perfumery, and it smells really fascinating. When you smell cashmeran on its own, oh, bye Amanda, enjoy the rest of your evening, thanks for joining. When you smell cashmeran on its own, it smells like a perfume itself because it's so complex. It's warm and woody with a smooth powdery texture, but it's also rich and resinous with a pine-like quality that feels dry and arid. There are hints of leather, some sweetness, prominent musk and woody amber facets. It's quite radiant and vibrant material. So it's used here as an accent rather than the main focus. So this is a really good example of a wood note or theme as a supporting act rather than the main theme. nose break. I think I saw Louise say this was soapy. Sophie saying soapy. Old school. Yeah, that was quite interesting, Laura. A lot of people said they found this quite retro, which is really interesting because it's not an old fragrance. It's 2018. So Jordan called it a very aromatic, powdery fragrance. Kirsten said it was romantic and cedary, and Sarah said it was a favourite, that it reminded her of her brother in the 80s. Cloud-like, Susie says. Interesting. That's a really lovely description. Cloud-like. A lot going on. Fresh wood too. Alpine, soft. Jessica says she liked the Issey Miyake with Cashmeran. And this one is my favourite from Woody. You should have guessed. Interesting. So you obviously like Cashmeran. Dad Aftershave. Yeah. This is quite herbal to me. It's kind of green fresh. There's like a dill note in the top note that makes it very, very fresh. But it's slightly fruity. There's an osmanthus thing that kind of links into a lovely black leather that's very clean and shiny. Then you've got the Cashmeran, which is very smooth, creamy, woody and radiant. I think it's a really, really interesting fragrance. Mainly when you realise who it's from, you'll probably be quite interested, because when this launched, it was a bit of a surprise to me because it's quite... generic is the wrong word. It's just not in a very adventurous fragrance in the way you would expect from this brand, but it does have some very interesting facets. Excuse me. This is a hot dag fragrance. Applause for Ali, please. Ali, you've won the last box by saying the words hot and dad in a sentence. Brilliant. Sorry. I really am very poorly. George says he likes aromatic side, but there's something a bit too sticky. So, Ali, you know what to do. Message Escentual to get your hot dag box. I mean, your Escentual box that you just won for saying the words hot dad in a sentence. Soapy. Okay, brilliant. There's lots and lots of soapiness on this one. Screeches on the bottom, but it completely vanished on skin. Defo man flu, Jan. Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a study around how men get flu worse. Wasn't there? Or am I just making that up? Okay. It's a scientific fact. Okay, so this fragrance is, are you ready? Are you ready? It is Alien Man by Mugler. Yes, Mugler. My bottle needs a good sort of polish. Polishing my bottle, hold on, polishing my bottle because it's a bit mucky. Yes, it's Alien Man. This was in my gym bag for quite some time, which I think has gone a bit mucky. So yes, this came out in 2018. It is created by the perfumer Jean-Christophe Hérault. It is £44.20 for a 50ml eau de toilette. It is the masculine counterpart to Alien, the Goliath that is Alien. And whilst Alien focuses on Cashmeran as a real central core theme, Alien Man has a smaller dose using it as an accent. And it's actually a very soft osmanthus leather with a herbal accord. Feels very fresh and I would say sporty. This is a small bottle. There is a larger size. This bottle's really mucky. I should have given it a wipe. That shows you how much I wear Alien Man these days. There you go. Alien Man. Yes, it is surprising, Christabel, because Mugler, you think, so strange. It's going to be... Mugler's a confrontational brand. They give you weird, right? This isn't that weird, but there's lots of interesting little facets in this one, I think. Yeah, very, very different. If you think of Angel and Angel Men, they're quite similar in style. These two are so different. The link is the Cashmeran. Bye, Susan. Yeah, me is gobsmacked. I've shocked some people. Oh my God. Not the first time in my life. Sophie says, I thought I'd smelled it before. Actually, when I first smelled it, I actually didn't like it now, but I think that's because I'm not a fan of the female version. Yeah, but they're so different, the two. You don't like this one because it's too soapy. So, I'm going to do a quick recap of what we smelled. So, we had, first of all, fragrance E. Hold on, it's for me like the water polo team relaxing on the grass under the birch trees. Oh, hello. So, yes, we're not mad at that at all. So the first one was our sandalwood, but creamy, coconutty, beachy, vibey. How can a woody fragrance smell fresh and summery? Sunny Side Up is the answer by Juliette Has a Gun. That is a 50ml eau de parfum, and it costs, let me scroll back up to the top of my notes, £76.50. Then we had an oud, because we had to have an oud, but we went for an interesting oud, which was the Rose Oud Transparent Black Tea of Noir by BVLGARI. And this is a Cologne Intense, and that is £63.75 for 75ml. Thank you very much. Then we had our spicy, sexy, sweaty Déclaration Parfum, which shows kind of the freshness of spice, but also like the armpittiness of it, but the wonderfulness, warmth of wood, kind of intimacy. And this is a Parfum spray, and that's £72 for 50ml. Lasts forever. I think this one's really good value as well. I feel like I'm a QVC presenter. It's very good value, but I think it is. You get a good bang for your buck with this one. And then we finished off with our slightly weird woody as a backdrop, surprising soapiness of Alien Man in Thomas's Bottle Is a Polish, which is £44.20 for a 50ml eau de toilette. Brilliant. I hope that's all been a surprise for all of you. I think there were a few surprises in there. So that kind of brings the woody box to a close. I think we did a really good job. We didn't do too many woody euphemisms, which was a surprise. I think we got that all out of our system right at the very beginning. So we're moving now to June's box. So June's box is new launches, and that's on sale until the 30th of May, Sunday 30th of May. Lots of exciting updates coming. Keep interacting in the Facebook group. Keep sharing your thoughts. Share your collections. That's the thing that I want to see. I'm going to end this now because I need to top up my water, I need to blow my nose, and I need to go to bed. Thank you so much for joining and putting up with me being a snotty mess, rather than just the usual mess that I am. Thanks very much, it was really enjoyable. And I will see you for new launches in June. It just feels so far away. I'm going to miss you guys. Right, I will see you all soon. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for all the well wishes. I've just got a cold. I know. I'm just making you all feel sorry for me because I need the attention. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everybody.